Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hope all is well. Gotta get my glasses on. I hope everybody's having a good day. Let me see how I'm doing on Facebook. Let's see. Turn the volume down so it won't disturb us. Mm-hmm. Hey, right, all right. Look like we're on. Okay. Yeah, I can't tell if I'm. Okay, we're cooking with gas, guys. Hey, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. My name is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold, and today I want to talk about the impression of gold. The moment someone steps into your home, an unspoken evaluation begins. What they see, smell, hear, and feel compose a powerful narrative that can either evaluate or elevate or diminish the household image. The first impressions are formed within seconds, and once established, they can be difficult to change. In both hospitality and daily life, these essential judgments are crucial because they reflect not only the physical environment, but also the value, characteristics, and intentions of the host. The art of making a lasting positive impression is not reserved solely for formal occasions. It begins with the everyday stewardship of one's dwelling. And the book I wanted to share with you guys is called The Impression of Gold. This beautiful, powerful book, written by myself and my beautiful wife, Sheila, provides tips for caring for luxury materials like silver, gold, glass, crystals, with professional insight and preservation techniques, and landscaping strategy tailored for Virginia climate, adaptable to home and nationwide, seasonable adjustment, sustainable solution, spiritual perspective, or on cleanliness as an act of stewardship, biblical insight on hospitality, rest, and honor woven into every room and ritual. Whether you're preparing for guests, refining your home atmosphere, or creating a legacy level excellence. Here we go. Impression of Gold equip you with a mindset tool and heart to make your home a living testimonial of care and compassion. And that's what the book does. Now, this is a hardback cover right here, if you notice, and a quick description about the book, as well as our paperback copy, all right, and a beautiful description of in color. Both books are in color, is in color. It does contain illustrations in color. To give you some insight, one of the worst thing to do and to experience is to have a guest or to someone who wants to visit you and your home is not ready. Or they have a first impression as soon as they pull up in your yard. Trash in the yard, um, perhaps a furniture, old furniture sitting out there that's not made for outdoors, or you have dogs, or the grass is dead, or there's no grass, just plain dirt. All these things make impression on people. Or it could be a beautiful landscape with beautiful flowers, roses, and so forth, and some figurines to complement, and a beautiful lush green cut lawn, as well as a trimmed bush. But when those are not taken care of, people right off the bat take note of your character, and you may be a great person and a great co-worker, but they'll look at your home and say, that's a reflection on you. Or it could to go into interior, there's a reflection on the, uh, what's the word I want to use? On your spouse or the lady of the house, or as a man of the house. So those are the things that you want to take in consideration, and that's why we put this book together to help individuals who may not know how to set their home for success as well as them. Because some jobs require, hey, the boss may want to have a meeting at your house, or may have some executive that's of importance wants to come by the house for a luncheon, dinner, or perhaps a cookout or celebration for a job well done. And your home has to be decor to a point where it gives a powerful impression. So let's talk about this book. First of all, I'm going to read off to you some of the, if I may, some of the chapters, some of the things you can look forward to in this book. Because I believe every homeowner, or renter should have an idea of how to maintain a beautiful home inside and out that gives a right impression, okay? Now, on the first page 3, you can notice something about the author, myself and my wife. And then you'll see the introduction, the power of the first impression. And then the first chapter talks about the clean philosophy. What's our philosophy? More than just tidiness. I'm here to tell you, we cover the bases, guys, to give you some insight. Because, and just one thing about me, I served in the military. I'm a veteran myself. I was raised by a veteran who was also in the military. And we grew up in an old house, but we live by a strict rule of tidiness, more than just tidiness, cleanliness and decorum. Okay, the house was old, but I'm rest assured those. And I just looked at a photograph of my old home with the grass nicely cut and the bushes nicely trimmed. In the interior, it's cleaned. Okay, and even to the point of you polish the silverware and you buff the glass so it can bring up nice shine, no those stains. All right, and chapter 2 it talks about kitchen commands from counter to cabinets. And then we talk about dining room decorum, graceful gathering space. You want to have a graceful gathering space where people will experience the joy. Because when it comes to your home, it is an experience. You want your living room to look luxurious, like luxe. Hospitality meets comfort. Your sanctuary, which is your master suite of elegance. Your guest room, greatness, hosting with honor. And we have guests spend time at our home as not just guests who stop by to visit, but we also have some few guests that have spent the night, that stayed overnight, and we gave them the best impression as possible. You want to maintain your home to reflect the most positive experience that it can be done within a reasonable amount of time or living space, depending on the home. You want to provide an experience that they'll never forget. All right? Guest room greatness is everything. Chapter 7 talks about the bathroom of brilliance, shine and sanitize. Closet royalties in chapter 9, walk-in wonder and organization. We definitely want to emphasize organization. Chapter 10 discuss polished prestige, having beautiful silverware, gold, glass, and crystals to present that wonderful experience for your guests. One thing I do know, people do not like to eat or look at a nasty stained piece of silverware. If it's not shiny or showing brilliance, it shows devalue. Okay? Same thing with gold. Glass should be polished, cleaned by hand. It talks about that. Crystals the same way. And I have pretty much a collection of crystals. Outdoor majesty. We're talking about, in this chapter 11, we're going to talk about landscaping and lawn excellence in Virginia, because I live in Virginia. Chapter 12, seasonal splendor, adjusting cleaning routines year round. Yes, I work with a schedule. So There's a certain time of the year I'll take care of this. Certain time of the year, twice a year, I do the major polishing of all the silverware. Okay. Certain time of year, I do major wash of china and crystal and glass, along with polishing. Certain time of the year, I do a full detail on the yard and landscape, refurbishing mulch, putting mulch on the garden area, in the garden area, okay? So it gives that pristine look and freshness, and ensuring that twice a year that new grass seed is planted, as well as quarterly treatment for the lawn, as well as the bushes. So take that into consideration. That's part of your landscape. And of course, with twice a year, we plant and replant new flowers. Now, in chapter 12, you're talking about seasonal splendor to adjust, of course, your routine year-round. And chapter 13, sustainable and natural cleaners. What type of cleaner that is good to be used, okay? Some things we want to utilize that are not toxic. And then we will talk about ethical royalties. That's chapter 13 definitely covers that. Chapter 14, hospitality secrets, the art of welcoming a guest. Many of us don't know how to welcome our guests. Many of us may have a VIP that may stop by, and you want to give the right impression to that VIP. You may have a business associate to show up, may have an insurance agent to show, or you may want to sell your home, and you want to give that impression to your to the agency who's going to be marketing your home, okay? And you want everything to be pristine and beautiful, where it gives the client who's coming by to purchase your home the positive impression that the house has for the asking value of the home. All right. Let's see what else. The daily chapter 15, the daily, weekly, and monthly regimen. Okay, very important. Chapter 16, the call to action, your home as a reflection of honor. Why? Because you want your home to be a reflection of honor and honoring you as the host. Okay? And you also want to keep your palace pristine forever. You don't have to have, and a lot of people make a mistake is thinking, I have to have a mansion to look that beautiful. No, you don't. It could be a 1,200 square foot home, 900 square foot home, an apartment, 400 square foot apartment. Of course, the outside's going to be taken care of by the owner of the apartment, but the rest is on you as far as the interior. So when someone goes into this beautiful apartment or a townhouse, if you will, and they walk through that front door, it only takes a few seconds for them to already have an impression of the host based on what they see. Of course, if they see junk, stuff lying around, paper on the floor, it looks like somebody took their coat off and threw it on the ground and changed the clothes laying around on the couch, that sets off an impression of the host, which is maybe could be the lady of the house, the husband and wife of the house, or the couple of the house. It sets an impression where it could be negative or positive. All right. So let's take a look about the author. Let's talk about me for a moment, okay? Of course, I'm a distinguished author, a theologian. I've been a pastor, with a lifelong discipline and passion for orderly living. And I lived it. We were forged through two powerful influences. My grandmother was definitely a major influencer, and so is my father. Now, my grandmother installed in me the joy and honoring of maintaining a beautiful home. That's my grandmother. And my father, who's a late Master Sergeant, Arnold, who has high standards of cleanliness, reflected the precision of pride based on his experience through the United States Army. And with that kind of background in ministry, my background in ministry and military service, my approach to homekeeping is both as reflected of spiritual stewardship and personal excellence, as the book nicely explained. Okay. Now my wife loves a pristine beautiful home. My wife, Sheila Arnold, was also the co-author of this book. She shared an equal passion for elegance, pristine living environment. We both do, all right? Raised by her mother, who loves a beautiful home care, continue to inspire. Uh, my wife carries forward the legacy of grace and intentionality. Her eyes for refinement, her commitment to hospitality, and I'm telling you, she's really big on that. And it makes her the ideal counterpart for me uh, for this practice to inspire you as the reader. Okay, and those of you watching this video, and I just want to first of all say thank each and every one of you for watching this video. All right, please like, share, and subscribe, because we really appreciate it. We also want you to subscribe to our ministry. That's through this video right here. All right. So we definitely want to make an impact because there's such a great need. So many people have very little understanding of the impact of an impression. And an impression is everything. It's how you dress, how you keep your hair, your clothes, even your car can give an impression of you. If the car is pristine, clean, and the seats are clear, there's no clutter in it, I mean, people be more than to ride with you. But if it's filled with trash, if it's filled with garbage, it's filled with organized chaos, then they may not be so willing to ride with you, and they may have say, look at your worth ethics, as opposed to knowing you who you really are. You know, you may have a great work ethics, but your impression as far as with reference to your home and your car shows a different category. Okay, so let's take a moment to talk about this. Okay, the moment someone steps into your home, an unspoken evaluation begins. The moment that somebody knocks on that door, they're gonna evaluate how the house smells. They're gonna be evaluating what they see. They're gonna evaluate what they hear because they see a lot of noise, of course, loud banging, blasting music. That leaves an impression. Uh, they're gonna at that moment either they're gonna feel compose a powerful narrative. They're gonna feel welcome. They're gonna feel at ease. They're gonna feel safe. They're gonna feel comfortable, or they're gonna feel I don't feel good about this. I'm ready to go home. Or this may not be a good idea. Maybe this is not the right time. Okay? Some people, and I know from experience, some people keep their home a certain way, knowing, and they'll tell their guests, sorry about the mess, you got to forgive the mess, don't look at the mess. Why wait till your guests show up to feel that way? Because apparently there's a sense of embarrassment. But why invite someone to your home and your home is not, as they say in real estate, not me, but it's the real estate to say, the house is not set stage for visitors. If your bedroom is not ready for visitors to take a look, then you don't take them in there. If your house is not staged for visitations, by all means, don't invite anyone. And if you have an appointment, make sure you get the house prepared for visits. Why? Because there's an impression on you. Now, the psychological weight of this first impression is this. Human beings are weird to observe and assess quickly. We all wired to do that. I mean wired. We all wired to do that. The moment I pull in your yard, I already got an understanding about the type of lifestyle you live. The people say we don't judge. We don't judge. I don't condemn, but judge righteously. If it looks like a mess, it is a mess. If you got trash, that you got broken glass everywhere, I'm not going to walk there. I'm going to use common sense. I'm going to make a judgment call, and I'm not going to walk on a bunch of glass. If you got snakes on the ground, I'm not going to walk on it. I'm not going to get out the car. You got roving dogs that's running around loose, I'm not going to get out the car. If I feel unsafe, I'm not going to get out the car. Catch you later. The moment you pull off the road into your driveway, impressions already counted. We're wired for that, guys. We do an assessment every time. We go into a place of business. You invite me to a restaurant. I'm doing an impression on from the time I pull up to the time I look at the door and the signage to the time I walk in the restaurant. I've already made a determination whether I want to eat there or not. It just common sense. So being a human being, being wired up to observe quickly and assess quickly, studies in psychology reveal that people form an impression in less than 7 seconds, brothers and sisters. Influenced by visual cues, body language, surroundings, even subtle scent. If it don't smell right, if I smell something that's like, man, it sure stinks in here, and I may not say a word, I'm like, no, we're not staying. I'm leaving. If I was going to go on a date and I'm coming to pick you up, and the house you look beautiful, your clothes look beautiful, but your house a mess, well, guess what? How far the date going to go? It's going to end that same day. I'm not going to call you. You know, of course, body language, surrounding, everything makes a big difference. These judgments will sometimes subconsciously impact how others treat us, think of us, and decide whether to further engage. Just like I'm talking about a relationship, like a date, and I'm looking to have a relationship, and all of a sudden I see what I see. I see cockroaches everywhere, and I say, we're not fit for each other. We're definitely not equally yoked together. Okay. So in context of hospitality and home care, the condition of the living space communicates efforts, personalities, okay, discipline, and respect, both for self and for others. Let me point this light on me a little bit more. There you go. So, for example, in the hallway's cluttered, and the carpet's unkept, or the lighting's harsh, the guest may sense a disorganization or indifference. Okay? Conversely, a well-kept, beautiful, scented home with polished floors, and we big on that, and graceful decor often convey a warm stability and intentionality. The home itself becomes a mirror of the host, which I have mentioned earlier. So if your home interior is beautiful and organized, and you maintain, even with children, because I maintain a house with 3 of my grandchildren, even my own kids, we maintain order. And my dad's the same way. So you can't say it's the kids the problem. It starts with you. It starts with you. So let's talk about cleanliness and order. The silent communicators. Cleanliness speaks louder than words. Cleanliness speaks louder than words. A sparkling countertop, like you walk in the kitchen, you see the countertop. If you see pristine linen and gleaming glass fixtures, offer guess what? And silent assurance they are valued and welcome. Did you know that? When someone walks in your house and the countertop looks beautiful, polished and clean, the stove top is clean, all right? You look at your glass, and the glass is polished and shiny and beautiful and clear and kept. It really gives that sense of charm, okay? It gives that sense of, wow, I feel good about this. All right? So a sense of assurance and welcome. It also inspires and elevates the mood of all who enters. And every time we have a guest, everything is in order, even to the food. In contrast, and I have experienced this myself, unkept conditions sows discomfort and unease. Regardless of size or budget, any space can offer nobility and charm through attention and care. And I really believe that because I have lived it. Order also play a vital role. Organized walk-in closet reveal a mind that values structure and simplicity. Okay? A tidy laundry room suggests a rhythm of responsibilities. Even small touches, a vase of fresh flowers or a scented candle, can change the emotional temperature of a space, turning a functional home into a sanctuary. And I'll tell you, people come by our house and they feel very comfortable at ease and say, like, how beautiful your home is. I mean, it's always been like that. Even when I had my own apartment, living on a tight budget with very limited furniture, I kept it in order, even to the bedroom. I mean, people walk in my home, they're looking around, it's like, impressions everything. You know, small touches make a big difference. Fresh flowers, a live plant that's growing, looking beautiful in a pot, an indoor pot. I'm not speaking of. It could change the emotion of the person. It definitely can lower that temperature, and when people feel totally relaxed. Exterior speaks first. Now let's talk about the exterior. Before the door is open, guests observe your landscape. Now let me ask you a question. When you pull up on your house or a place of business, what normally was your first impression? Is the yard beautiful? Is the grass cut? The bushes trimmed? Does it have mulch? Does it have flowers, whether it be artificial flowers or live flowers? Does the yard look like it's in order? Okay, like somebody cares. All right? Putting some effort to it. The gravel looks good in the driveway. Or is the concrete driveway clean? Or is it dirty through time? Does the asphalt have a bunch of cracks and rocks in it or broken up to pieces like nobody cares? Is there furniture? Is the furniture on the porch or deck look presentable like somebody cared for it? All right? Those are things you look at. Or does it need, or there's trash in the middle of the yard, or the trash bin is overflowing, or there's roving dogs over the place, or instead of having grass, you got dirt and folks walking all over the place on it. You know, that gives an impression right off the bat. The moment you walk up to the doorway, the guests observe the landscape. In Virginia, where yard range from colonial charm to southern elegance, maintaining a winning landscape is both a science and an art, and I really believe that. Trim hedges, manicured lawn, seasonal flowers tells visitors how a homeowner or renter has pride not only in their property, but also in their community. Why? Because you do reflect your community. When I was living in Petersburg, I maintained a standard that would brought elegance and also a right impression towards my father. When I have my own, I maintain the yard, planted flowers, make sure there's no trash, cleaning the concrete porch when I used to rent and duplex. I kept it clean. I even cleaned the walls outside. Now I use a power wash. Now I hire a power person to use power wash. But you want to maintain a winning landscape, guys. It's a science and an art. A well-lit path, clean porch furniture, swept entryway, are introductory pages into your home story. In some neighborhoods, outdoor beauty contribute to local prestige and can even elevate property value, which is true, okay? From aeration to fertilization schedules, the exterior requires constant vigilance to maintain the soothe after curve appeal, a concept that begins before guests set foot inside. And you really want to keep that in mind, guys, whether you're renting or not. When I was renting a house, 1,200 square foot house in Petersburg, right off Wagner Road, I'll never forget, we maintained the prestige of the yard, kept the yard beautiful, made sure the flower beds stayed pristine and beautiful. When the flowers dried and died out, I make sure to remove those flowers, clean that little flower bed up, a little bit of mulch on it, add a little bit of other flowers there. But it looks pristine. It's important. I cannot overemphasize the importance of having a beautiful, maintained yard, okay, exterior. It is a must. When the landlord, once my contract was up, he wrote me the most, every landlord writes me the most well-written recommendation letter every last one's part. Always get my security deposit. Why? Because when we leave, we clean out the way we move in. So when we move out, that place is clean or painted. Because if we have paint, I can paint it. We do the whole thing. He didn't have to hire anyone to do work on the interior or exterior. Matter of fact, he told us we wish he had more tenants like us. I'm a homeowner. My heart's being a homeowner. And you should want to treat any property you live as if you own that property, showing the care and prestige of your to elevate what? The value. Okay? That's what you want to do. You want to have the prestige of also keeping all your glassware and silverware pristine and polished, or crystals. There are sometimes lists about the gleam of polished silver and the shimmer of crystal glassware and the sparkle of a well-maintained gold accent. These touches aren't just aesthetic. They reveal revered for tradition, a detail and beauty. In the modern age of mass production and convenience, caring for such material takes time and knowledge. Their presence and communication communicate sophistication and a link to heritage. It's been my family tradition for years. My grandmother definitely emphasized that to me. Because she had I'm telling you, she had the most beautiful dining room set, the most beautiful silverware imaginable. Now, when she passed, all that stuff just disappeared. It's gone. But you can if you look at her cabinets, her china cabinets, her dining room table, some of her glass or china, and a lot of they were well made, I'm telling you. And she keeps a high standard on how things look. Because you have guests come over. You want to and she loves to cook. And she cooks and cleans while she's cooking. So a polished surface reflects light. Bring in what? Bring a what we call a luminosity into the room. But they also reflect intent. Whether it's a carefully arranged china cabinet or a crystal chandelier catching the sunset, these elements transform ordinary rooms into regal environment. Spiritual and cultural hospitality, because this is still ministry. This is ministry. Even ministers should take note of hospitality. The first lady should take note of hospitality, as well as the deacon and his wife. Hospitality in the most dignified form is a biblical value. And a lot of people don't understand, but it is. That transcends mere courtesy. As a Christian pastor and theologian myself, you understand the significance of preparing a place, mentally, emotionally, and physically. For others, the story of Abraham welcoming angels unaware or many passage on caring for strangers elevate hospitality from social grace to spiritual discipline. Apt to teach, hospitable. First Timothy chapter, what? 1 talks about being hosting, having hospitality. Talking about a bishop. That same category falls to the same way for a pastor. A clean and beautiful home become a temple of love and stewardship, not merely a display of perfection. It fosters rest and joy. for guests and honor God through intentional care. We have to be a good steward, brothers and sisters. First impression, then, are not superficial. They are sacred. Windows into the heart of the household. So when we walk into your home, we definitely look into you, your heart of the household. Amen. Maintaining an impression. And I'm not going to cover every detail of the book, but I just want to share a few things with you. The challenge lies not in making a good impression once. That's not the challenge. You know, people rushing in, trying to clean the house up because they got to guess, trying to get all that months and years or weeks of dirt off the wall and off the corners behind the furniture, and moving the furniture and mopping under the bed and pulling out the refrigerator that only been cleaned once, maybe twice a year, maybe once every 3 years too. I mean, the challenge is to maintain it. And we have to maintain the cleanliness of our home consistently. Can I get a witness? This requires daily habits. It does require daily habits. Season deep cleaning, periodic updates to decor and organization. Whether one lives alone or with family, structure must support beauty. Clear routine, morning tidy-ups, weekly yard checks, monthly polish session builds towards what? Excellence without burnout. The last thing you want to do is try to do everything within that week's time, and that's what you're burnt out. You're preparing for a host a wedding event. You're preparing to host a major cookout with a family or a half family reunion. And you try to clean from Monday through Friday, knowing you're serving on Saturday. Then you got to clean up from Monday again to Tuesday to clean up for those guests who have already left. That's you're asking for a burnout. Okay? For Virginia homeowners, I just want to talk to Virginia homeowners, adapting cleaning cycles to regional weather is also essential. Humidity, pollens, and seasonal leaves all affect cleanliness in the organization. Investing in tools that match the climate, like air purifiers, and we definitely do. Humidifiers, we definitely do that too. Leaf blowers, protects the impression year-round. Did you know that? When leaves come down, guess what? You get them leaves up. When grass grows, you cut it. Bushes grow, you cut it. Everything is an impression of you. And it's all seasonal. During the pollen season, oh yeah, my wife go out in that backyard, go on the deck, and we do a thorough cleaning of it because pollen transcends into the screen, into the deck. So we have to clean the furniture, clean the floor, clean the walls, clean the boards, get to remove as much as pollen as possible. Even to during the wintertime, I remove the mattress, the pillowcases, I remove the mattress, the chair covers, cushions. I remove all that stuff because I know what's coming when spring arrives. Okay, and once spring arrives, and once the last pollen hits the furniture, that's pretty much it. The rest is just a matter of just sweeping the floor every now and then. But that's seasonal too, so you have to know, prioritize seasonal work. Okay, everything affects everything. All right, and here's a call to loyalty. In this book isn't really about cleaning. This book is not about cleaning. These books are not about cleaning. Okay, I just want to share that with you. It's about reclaiming royalty, just like in the palace. In your everyday life, guests are not merely welcome, they are honored. A homeowner are not merely dwellers, they are stewards of beauty and presence. Every light fixture you dust, every sock you fold, tell the story of someone who cares, and we do that. We definitely do that. So don't wait for spring cleaning, guys, or special holidays, or special gatherings. Begin today, one drawer, one room, one moment of effort to build a palace you deserve. I am living the good life. I want a sense of not just royalty, but a sense of, I can't even think of the word. I can't think of, royalty is a good enough word to use. But I want decorum. I want luxury. I want fabulous, if I can say that, if I may. Homeowners are not, we're not dwellers. We're in a presence of stewardship. All right? It's not about the holidays, as I mentioned earlier. We want to give that first impressions the moment they walk through that door. It's what your home tells the world about your values and legacy. If you have strong value, then you want to present that because your home will show that. But anyway, guys, I have to go. I hope you enjoyed this little message about my book, The Impression of Gold, because this book is worth its value in gold. So anyway, guys, you all have a good day, and I will talk to you soon. This is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold, the author of Impression of Gold, and we're signing off. Have a great day, and God bless you.